Arifa, welcome back.
Welcome
Hi
back.
guys. Hi.
Arifa's
I've been
back.
away for a while.
Yeah.
But
And
glad
then
to be
she'll be
here.
back next week. So
After a short break,
We will be reunited next week.
all four faces on one screen, together again at last.
on episode 15. Right.
So guys, I don't know if you guys know, but it's Domestic Awareness Month. And in honour of that, we've dedicated this episode to domestic violence. If you look in the bio below, we'll have some numbers and stuff like that for you guys to visit in case you need.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome to episode 14 of the Messy Draw podcast. And this week we've got domestic violence. So does anyone want to go through types of domestic violence? Just so we're out. Anything you can think of?
There's physical, mental, sorry, I'm gonna say there's physical, there's mental, there's financial, there's like so many different ways that someone can have a grip in your life and abuse you. So I think when people think domestic abuse, they only think of like physically beating someone, which is, yeah, abuse, but there's so many other ways that people can get harmed and taken advantage of.
Someone who's been a victim of domestic violence did not come out until years later. And that's really common, isn't it?
For them, they weigh like the good and the bad. Like, if I leave, this is everything that will happen. You know, I'll have left my husband, my kids will not have a father, I might not be financially stable, and you know, plus what will people think that I've left my husband? And to them, it's like, do I put up with physical abuse, which I have to take, but nobody else finds out about, or do I open it up to the world? And you know, they think it's shameful and it's embarrassing to share something like that, and to be like, okay, I've been hit, whether it's to say, okay, I've been hit and I didn't stand up for myself, I'm embarrassed, or whether it's to say, I can't believe my life isn't going to look perfect in front of other people anymore. My happily married or partnered life, I'm talking about marriages and married people in specifically, you know, that image is broken, and to them, that's a bigger deal than getting hit by their partner because they value that so much more.
100%. It reminds me of, even though it's not the same thing, murdered by my father. He was so worried about like what the community thought that he ended up killing his own daughter. So I suppose like sometimes it's about what other people are going to think of you. So you
honor killings. That's what honor killings are, when they kill their partner or their child because they have dishonored them.
Yeah.
That's like, that is so fucked up. You'd rather have a murderer in your family than a woman that got divorced. Like, it's insane. Like, to even like try and like someone sat there and rationalize this. Yeah, I'm gonna kill my daughter, and that's better than having a divorced daughter. It's disgusting.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But what do you think, like certain parents stay in relationships? Like, I don't know if you lot have seen the Netflix series. It's not Hernandez. His mom, yeah, his mom was his everything. And he would never see her as evil. And even if she was like locking him up, beating him up, he was still like, when he went to school, he would only say positive things.
There's studies on that. There's actual like scientific studies that some kids, no matter how much their mum abuses them, they will never see the mum in a bad light because that's their mother. So it's not surprising.
That's kind of like, isn't there something that happens where sometimes when people get abducted, they start to see as the person who's kidnapped them as protecting them? Stockholm syndrome, yes, exactly. So I think it's kind of like that, where this is the situation you're in and this is your present reality, and your brain in some way finds a way to accept it and make it okay. So to them, this person hasn't done wrong, they're just part of this journey that they've accepted.
Yeah, it's their norm, it's their reality, that's what they know.
Right, and
Yeah.
I also heard, so basically, if you're a teacher or someone that takes care of kids in any situation, so it says here the signs to look out for: short-tempered, often sick, changing like in their, what do you call it, appetite, depressed, fear, wet in the bed. Didn't know that.
I didn't know that one.
So they are signs to look out for. But how do you reckon that if I was in an abusive relationship, I can get out of it, right? Because I'm an adult. But how does a child get out of that situation?
It's weird because the person that they usually trust the most is the person that's usually abusing them. So to go outside of that and to trust like a stranger or a teacher or an aunt is like going away from what's safe to you.
Yeah.
And telling someone who's a stranger.
And like your point was right, you can get out of it if you want as an adult, but for kids, them being like saved, I don't want that, but them being saved relies solely on the adults in their lives, their extended family, their teachers, their doctors, what have you. Terrifying. Well, if they get referred to a social worker, that means the abuse has already been picked up at some point.
Yeah, that was the situation. I mean, everyone failed him. Everyone used to see bruises on that boy, and they just never follow through. So I guess follow it through always. Environment can contribute to
In what way?
To abusive behavior.
Like what type of environment? Like class, culture?
Yeah, any environment you've grown in.
I refuse to believe that that a person who becomes an abuser has had a perfectly regular, stable, normal life. Like in my heart, I just feel like in some way they have suffered or suffering has been inflicted on them for them to feel like it's okay to inflict suffering on someone else like that. Especially when it comes to like even stuff like gaslighting, right? I feel like that person must have really suffered and been around an environment where gaslighting was okay and normalized for them to go on and to think it's okay to gaslight other people. It's like I feel like that stuff like that is a lot like trauma that you have to like stop from extending and evolving beyond you.
So you think sometimes it could be like from entitlement?
Like I've got so much power, I can do what I want with it.
There's this YouTuber, his dad was the director of Hunger Games. I might take that out.
Oh, well.
He went on a shooting spree because he thought like, look at these blonde girls, they get black boys, they don't even drive cars like mine. So he really felt like he deserved to get these good looking popular girls, but none of them were looking at him.
Wives. Dress nice. I have a nice car, a BMW. These sunglasses here were $300. Giorgio Armani. I don't know why you girls are so repulsed by me. It doesn't make sense.
Going inside the mind of the killer shows the 22-year-old had delusions of Hollywood. He had money and a luxury car, but the attention and lifestyle he wanted seemed just out of reach.
Such an injustice. I don't know why you girls hate me so much.
I think for him to go kill people, there's definitely something psychologically wrong there. It's not just entitlement. But yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that was kept a secret.
No, it was quite big actually, quite bad a while back.
Didn't hear anything about that.
Me neither. I feel like I would as well because I love the Hunger Games. So I feel like if I saw something like that in the news.
I don't know if you guys will include this question, but this is like a question I was asked in a lecture in my undergrad. And it was, do you think people, men and women who have been like trialed and found out to be child abusers, like really serious child abusers, do you think they should be sterilized?
as punishment.
Yeah.
I think sexual abusers deserve to be, I don't know, I just feel like people who think it's okay to sexually abuse other people, yes. But I don't know, there's this massive argument about how people who abuse other people are just sick themselves. So instead of trying to destroy them and obliterate them, we should try to like teach them otherwise, or bring them to an understanding that what they did was wrong, so they can move.
I think it's an illness to
Like an
abuse kids, and a lot of them, well, I don't know a lot of them, but a few of them have said they've also had that childhood themselves.
Yeah.
So
today, how many people in a jury would be like, okay, but look at his past?
I think they do take that into consideration. If I'm not mistaken. However, I feel like we all know what's wrong and what's right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we don't know, because we don't know how an abuser feels when they've been abused their whole life.
100%, but I'm sure they didn't like it. So for you to go ahead and do that to someone else.
I think it's not black and white.
Definitely not. Trying to bring some pop culture into the story. Chris Brown had been dealing with his domestic violence story for a long time, and I don't know if it was his justification or something, but it came out that he watched his mum get abused for years, and that was kind of why he did what he did to Rihanna. Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
Well, what do we think about it? Yeah, I just don't think. I'm sure he said that he didn't like him and his dad's relationship was not good after that. So for you to carry on that behavior, that's why I know you lot said it's not black and white, but I just think we all know hitting someone, we've been taught that from young that it's wrong. And you watching your mom get hit on, I'm sure you didn't like that sight. Rihanna herself grew up seeing her parents being abused. And a lot of people say you are likely to forgive someone who's hit you if you've been in that environment, but she got out of it. So,
but didn't she come out and say that she forgave Chris as well?
You can forgive people, and some people forgive people for themselves or for their faith, like your faith tells you to forgive. But to stay in that environment to do wicked things to people because you grew up witnessing it, I understand it, but I don't think I can excuse it.
Yeah.
It's not an excuse, but it does help me at least understand the patterns of their behavior. And when you understand the patterns of someone's behavior, it helps you to make sense of the world. Because
people out there that are inherently evil, and I feel wicked saying it, but there are some evil people in this world, and that's just them. That's how they are.
Yeah, not every abuser has been abused. So where do we go from there if they haven't had that? Then it comes down. Yeah.
Like a glitch in their brain, something wrong with the neurons that transmit from one to another. Like there must be something
to inflict
that allows them
pain on a human being. Yeah, to inflict that much pain on a human being, there is something wrong with you. Of course.
Maybe they don't know how to empathize, because I think it comes down to science. It's either environment or it comes down to science.
Like, what advice would you give someone who's come to you with this situation?
I don't know. I feel like if you came to me and you were like, Gunjan, my partner is abusing me, and this is what's happening to me, and you told me not to tell anyone, but it's a really sensitive thing. I feel like if you approached me and told me that this has happened to you, I would encourage you to leave, but it's a very, very hard thing, because sometimes, and I've heard of this happening before from, people, sometimes when you try to advise someone based on something so sensitive, they cut you out. They don't want to hear it.
Really?
You bring reality much, because you might actually turn around and say, you know what, I'm okay with putting up with my partner, you know, who like hits me sometimes, but I'm not okay with my friend who constantly chats shit about me in my life. You know, some people, when you try to help them,
I've come to you for advice.
you come to me for advice, but it's a very sensitive topic. It is so hard to tell someone. I don't know if I'd be.
Sometimes people come to people to hear a sugar-coated
The truth.
something. No, not even the truth. Sometimes they just want to hear something sugar-coated and sweet. They don't want someone to actually say to them, "You're being abused. You need to get out." They want someone to say, "Oh, maybe he's going for a rough patch, and you know you can work through this." Like sometimes that's what people want.
I agree. You might be coming to me asking me to like, you're telling me, oh yeah, he gets angry sometimes. What should I do? How should I help him? And it's more like, what the fuck? This guy hit you? Do you get what I mean? I would have a really drastic response. And what if you're not looking for that? You might cut me out. And I like, people do cut people out.
Okay, if I was to cut you out, then what would you do?
Can you report someone?
Can you report someone without evidence?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you tell me your partner's hit you, can I go and report you? And then for it to be like, and then but what if you turn around and say, no, that's not true, Gunjan strength shit?
And I think you have to be very tactile as well. Like, you don't know the extent of this abuse. What if when you report this person, they then react and hurt your friend in a way where they might kill them or hurt them in a way that there's no coming back from it?
100%. You have to absolutely be careful because you don't know. It's the same way with kids. Like, you don't want to, if you've noticed something on a child, I wouldn't go to the parent and be like, do you know what I mean? Because I might be making the situation worse. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't, when they see a kid with bruises, they go, oh shit, he was probably like playing in the playground or knocked his head, or you know how clumsy kids are, and they don't listen, they're always running into things. And it's like, actually, but the first thing you think is not to go to that parent and go, yeah, but you know, how did Johnny get that bruise on his head? Did you
go 3 days? What's happened? You might be making the situation worse because the parent might think that the child is talking. So it's really difficult. It's so difficult.
You have to step back and evaluate the whole situation and really evaluate how you can help this person without making things worse, because it's a really sensitive environment where things can go off.
What about the women that are dependent on their husbands or the other way around?
They need to find support elsewhere. There are domestic helplines, and there are shelters of people who can help you get out of that situation, because a lot of people are like, where do I go? Who do I go to?
There are apps, I can't remember what they're called, but like they're hidden as other things, like a news app, but it's actually an app that can call the police. If you're in a public space, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called an angel shop. If you go to a restaurant and you go to the bar and you order an angel shot, like they call the police or something like that. There's quite a few things out there.
Yeah, or a non-molestation order. I think you have to pay for that. I think you pay like £150, and then they have to. It's kind of like what's it called when you have to stay away from someone?
A restraining order.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but
molestation order.
Mm.
Need to look that up too.
Yeah, but yeah, look out for everyone. Look out for kids, guys. There's signs.
But be sensitive.
Be sensitive.
Don't make things work.
Yeah. And yeah, see you next week, guys. Thank you.